I guess let's jump into the first topic, man. What we got on deck?
First thing we got, Clipse segment. Album and industry moves. Yeah. So I think I guess so I think we all were up to speed on the article about Let God Sort It Out with the Mike Tyson cameo, right? And then they left Def Jam, right? They had to pay for that. Sounds like they had to pay quite a bit, 7 figures. Yeah, most def. And then Kendrick Lamar verse controversy is all in the mix there. So we could kind of just start at the top.
Yeah.
With that, Let God Sort It Out with Mike Tyson. See what y'all think about that. How y'all feeling?
You want to set it off, man? Anybody got an opinion on it?
I just so I'm gonna just say I feel like Clipse has been around for me like growing up, and they just resonate with me just like in different ways. But I feel like with whatever's going on right now is above me. So, but I see what's happening now, especially when you read it, it doesn't sound like anything good. But I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about that.
Are you excited about the album coming?
Oh yeah,
the
of
music
course.
Side.
Yeah,
because that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's about the music.
Right.
But I don't think them getting out of that whole ordeal with Def Jam is that's crazy.
I mean,
that's a lot of money.
Was that out of his pocket or no?
Yeah.
His pocket?
They had to pay.
They had to pay?
They had to buy out.
So you guys got to remember that when the Clipse, so me being a student of the game, I'll kind of give y'all a little bit of history. So the Clipse was signed with Star Trek, which was Pharrell's label.
Yeah.
Yes.
Star Trek was under Arista, which used to be a major label distributor, right? So when Arista got folded, I believe they went over to Geffen, and that was a subsidiary of Interscope. And after a while, the Clipse kind of like, they dropped 3 albums,
They
right?
did.
And the second album had, pardon me, I'm sorry, they were with Arista at first, then they went to Jive. And it's just about 2006 they dropped their second album. It was delayed heavily. I think the label was kind of losing faith in that style of hip hop because this is around the time when the weirdos started to show up and the snapper fingers started to show up, and the Clipse is a different type of a group. So Jive was the worst label ever because, and shouts to everybody who signed with Jive, they got the smoke screens put on them, and myself, Pap, and my team, we all got smoke and mirrors. Jive was like, we'll sign you for $1.5 million. Pap signs a deal, album never comes out. Clipse signed a deal, album never comes out. They had Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. They don't know nothing about hip hop, right? So long story short, they get off a job. Then they go into their last album, which was distributed by Geffen. So they had label drama from the beginning. Now here's what happens. Push's brother, Malice, becomes a born-again Christian.
Yep.
Right? Rebuilds his life.
No Malice, right? Is his name back
No
to
Mal-
Malice? He's Malice
It's
again,
no Malice,
or no?
pardon me. It's
That's
no
what I
Malice.
said.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, don't be say he's a sissy
Sorry.
now.
I know
All
him
right,
by Malice.
chill, bro. Nah, let's keep it a buck, bro. Shit.
Fire, man.
So Malice had a little bit of, he put out like a couple solo albums as well, but then Push, Kanye signed him, good music. Push had that incredible run solo. And then all of a sudden, there started to be some rumors about them coming back together. They did a record together for like a fashion designer's album, and then things started to come. Here's the problem with the Def Jam situation, and we're going to talk about this in more detail because I know Grizz got the article in front of him, but the UMG situation is already toxic because of the whole Kendrick and Drake situation, right?
Yeah.
But the Clipse signed the Def Jam, and Grizz, I guess talk a little bit about this Kendrick issue. What was the problem with the Kendrick? So I heard rumblings that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Clipse got a record with Kendrick. Def Jam didn't want to put it out. They told the Clipse either drop Kendrick or we're not putting the record out.
That is essentially what happened. In a nutshell, I mean, you basically hit it on the head. They had put him on a verse or whatever, and they told him to take it off, and I guess push that he wasn't gonna. He was like, I'm not gonna take him off.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either. Like, why?
Yeah.
why?
He basically said he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And as he should.
You should.
And that's I think the problem. And I tell a lot of artists coming up is like that's the bullshit you got to deal with a major label. You're out there beck and call. If they don't like the verse, they don't like nothing, they can hold it back. So they paid their deal off, right? And then they immediately went to Jay-Z and got us a deal signed in 24 hours. And Jay was like, y'all got your masters, they got everything going. So thank God for guys like Hove, because if it wasn't for Hove, we might not be getting this Clipse album at all. This album's been done allegedly for like a year or so. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm excited, man. I'm a huge Clipse fan. You know, really since you know 02, man. I think they bring Pharrell brings a very unique sound to hip hop. But I'm curious to see how Pharrell makes music in 2025. And that's what I'm excited about, because we know.
Well, he just did the soundtrack for the Lego movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is like all new music.
It's but it's been more like poppy music. It kind of hasn't been like it hasn't been hip hop. Like it hasn't been that shit that Pharrell's kind of known for. But see the
Like
dope
Neptune's type.
right. But the dope thing about Pharrell and the Neptunes, they have such a wide range. Like they work with No Doubt, right?
They're
work with
responsible
so
for a
many
lot of
different
shit.
artists.
They're
Right.
responsible for a lot of music.
So I'm excited. What I'm not excited about though, and this is where me and Grizz might differ here at this moment, but
Yeah.
why? I know you're not a Push fan, right? Are you a Clipse fan at all? Do you like the Clipse?
I like that song. What happened to that boy? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my shit.
That's probably the only.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you not?
Mr. Me Too?
So before I judge you
I'm
and
not
I
a fan of that
throw
one.
darts at you, so is it a lack of education on the Clipse?
Stop, bro.
Or is it just like, hey, I
Stop.
never heard the album, I never like.
It's that I don't like that. I don't like.
The bubbly rap.
I don't like their shit, bro. I just don't
It's
like
like-
it. I
is
don't
it the
fuck
beats?
with it,
Is
bro.
it the rhymes?
I don't like
What
his
is it?
voice. I don't like their voice. I'm not a
You don't
fan
like
of.
Push's voice?
I'm not a fan. They
the way
sound
they
the
talk. I
same.
hate the
I
way
mean,
they
they
talk.
sound. Yeah.
I
don't really fuck
I
with
don't
this.
like the way they look.
Yeah.
the way they look.
Nah, it ain't like that. I
I'm
just
just
don't.
trying to get a gauge.
That
You
like this like. Yeah,
said
bro,
that,
for
bro.
real. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I don't
Just not a
fuck
fan.
with it, bro. I don't. I mean, how old? I mean, fuck. I don't
Come
know.
on.
They don't fuck with Drake.
Don't
I
hold
just
back,
don't
my
really
guy.
fuck. I just don't really fuck with it. I don't really
Alright,
like it. It
so
ain't my, it ain't
have you
what I
ever
fuck
heard a
with.
Clipse album though, for
I mean,
intensive
not top to
purposes?
bottom, no. I never want to. Why? I've never been to a gay bar, bro. What the fuck? It ain't my, it ain't my thing, bro. No disrespect.
You're taking shots.
No, it ain't no disrespect. No, it's just not
kind
my
of
thing.
disrespect. I mean, yeah,
No, I just ain't
Gay
never
bar.
There is his act.
yeah. At this guy, bro.
Blame his
I'm not hating. I would go.
No.
I'm not saying I would. I go with the
Listen,
homies. You know what I'm saying?
that's
No
why I asked you
disrespect.
because-
No, not at all.
It's because sometimes I think we all have biases, right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people won't listen to music for a certain bias. Like, I mean, we had a conversation a while ago about like East Coast, West Coast thing.
Yeah.
It was like you really didn't peep too much on the East Coast because you was kind of raised on the West Coast side, right?
Well, because I picked sides, right? Because
Right,
it was
you-
Tupac and
exactly.
Biggie. I said, fuck Biggie, fuck Mob D, fuck Bad Boy as a staff record label and his motherfucking
Listen,
crew.
and that's
Talk
fine.
for
I know a
life.
lot of people
Yeah.
that are like that. So look, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what I would like to gain from this conversation today
Elaborate.
is I'd like you to elaborate on your feelings
Yeah.
and your biases, so that way I could try to
Well, yeah.
educate
All
you.
I'm telling you is that I don't really like the Clipse. I never liked their sound. It wasn't ever anything that I could put on and really vibe to. That was it, right? Like at the time that they came out, it wasn't ever something that I was like, oh, like
That's
you know,
fine.
like I heard what was the song?
What about Grinding? You didn't like Grinding?
That one. This Grinding came out, and that's what put me on to. That's what put me on the Clipse,
What
right?
about you guys?
And I did like that one, but
I'm neutral, I guess. Not really.
Have you heard a Clipse album?
I'm not
No,
gonna lie.
I have
No, I
not.
have not.
Really?
I
Okay.
have not.
That's the main
But
question.
that's it. I can't really give you.
So
opinion 'cause
there's
I
a
don't know.
song. It's called Mr. Me Too. There is not any no shape, way, or form you never heard that song.
I probably heard it. Yeah, I probably heard a lot of different songs.
I didn't like it.
I asked you guys.
I heard
to
it.
say
I remember
this.
it came out like 2007.
I feel like you do
6,
this to me
maybe.
all the time. Though.
A little
Like,
bit
you're like,
before
have
that,
you
I
heard this
think.
song? And then you play the song for
mean,
me. Like, Oh yeah, I've
I
heard
just
it.
wasn't a
I
fan.
just didn't know.
I don't know.
Just
I mean,
because it's an age thing though, but I think also too it's about me when I was a kid with hip hop. I listened to everything, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have my biases. Like I love New York hip hop. I love that style.
there.
I love all of that, right? However, I learned to love West Coast, right? With Quick, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the West Coast and that debacle of a list that Complex put together. But I say that to say that. And then when the South came, it was the same thing. I really started tuning in the South. So I love all different styles of hip hop, right? So for me with the Clipse, the crazy thing for me is that 25 years in the game, this album is very highly anticipated, and we finally have no constraints, no politicking. It's gonna be an album.
It's gonna be raw.
And it's right. We're gonna present it to you, in like it's not gonna be no political bullshit. I have a feeling. This is just my opinion. You're wrong. I have a feeling that this bullshit ass shit that Drake has been doing with UMG is snowballing into other acts that might have had a problem with Drake historically. And if we remember, the Clipse had a very highly publicized squabble with Lil Wayne that then trickled into Drake and then trickled into everything else that we're dealing with now.
It's like a virus.
And it sucks because I hate, that's why I put in this show with the promo. Are we rapping or are we politicking? Why would Drake, I want you to pull up the Pop Smoke thing because I know this kind of connects here, right?
yeah.
Why would Drake feel so threatened from a business level of the Clipse? Or is it bigger than that? Is
Does
it
he?
something bigger than I think he is?
But why? What
That's
makes
my
you
question.
speculate on that?
I'll tell you why.
Well, why would UMG shut down this Kendrick verse?
Right.
Oh well, yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the. I'm talking about Clipse. I'm talking about Clipse.
Yeah.
Well, why is he? We all know the. I mean, it's an issue. They have a lawsuit going on, so I would imagine that's based on. That has something to do with that, right? Whatever. You already know how I feel about that. I think that's
Right.
some whole shit he shouldn't have done or whatever. I'm a
Right.
fan of Drake, but still, right? Whatever. But at the end of the day, why would you think that you just?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna
just
tell you my
assume.
web of. I'm gonna tell you why because things.
Tell you why I'm mad.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. son.
Listen here, children. Listen here.
Listen, here's why. I've seen some wicked shit on the other side of the industry, the behind the scenes side of things, right? I've seen it from my favorite rapper. We had this conversation about Hove, right? Hove.
Yeah.
And what was our difference on Hove? You didn't think he was top
Yeah,
tier,
resonate.
right?
I just
You
think
don't resonate
I
with
think he's
Jay-Z like
overrated.
that.
Right. So for me,
Overrated.
as Jay, right? Jay will do things behind the scenes that for me I'll question like, why is he doing this, right? Because he'll be perceived as a rapper to be like, yo, I'm pro this, I'm pro that, but behind the scenes you're doing some crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that Drake is the same way. You're so high on the totem pole, bro. You out of here, bro. What are you worried about pushing the Clipse for?
He's not.
I think he is, bro. Why would he stop Kendrick's verse from being?
Because his ass got bodied by Push one time. He don't
He
want to get
got-
bodied again.
He stopped it or UMG stopped it.
Who runs UMG, sir?
Look, bro.
Hey, Drake
Who's
probably
the
let him
top
know.
selling artist at
Look, bro,
UMG?
his name ain't associated with this shit. You're speculating, bro. You out here putting shit in the air, bro. Don't be doing that. You making shit up, bro. This
Y'all
ain't.
really trying to say that Drake don't run UMG?
This isn't.
I'm
fact.
saying he does. Our good friend here is saying that it's speculatory.
I'm saying the same facts, bro.
Nah,
I'm just
but
saying
listen,
you
hear
can't
me out.
say
Hear me
that.
out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly believe that because of the lawsuit, I
Yeah.
think UMG had to kind of tiptoe.
Yeah.
I think they didn't want to do anything to make Drake even more upset than he already was. Because what is he? He's a cash cow to them. Now Kendrick came in and did his thing. He's obviously getting them money as well. They got so much money they ain't
A little
worried
bit.
about it,
Yeah,
right?
kind of.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
Everyone
is
got
that
paid.
everything always leads back to Lawbury. And I don't understand it. You mentioned you
He
heard I
don't
said
like him, bro. If I didn't like you,
Okay.
I'll fucking, you'll take your parking spot, bro, or fucking,
Okay.
hide your favorite pen and shit, bro.
Take your parking
But,
spot.
Like, well, I'm gonna just make your life inconvenient. I can't fucking, take you off of somebody's record, but I'm gonna do whatever's in my power to just make shit difficult for you, because I don't fuck with you, bro. I don't like you.
I just feel like that's whole
You
shit.
know?
And I feel that now you're messing with other people's paper because you feel a certain kind of
do
way.
something about it.
You're in hip hop, bro. This is hip
Do
hop.
something about it.
We know
Hip hop,
Drake.
exactly. You
This
gotta let Drake
ain't,
do his
bro.
own
This
thing,
this
you know?
ain't this ain't some other shit, bro. So I think it's low hanging fruit for Drake to jump on.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see how this Carter 6 sounds tomorrow, because I have a feeling that we're gonna get some subs in that bitch. Because if you guys remember. This was like Carter 2 era, right?
Yep.
It's like Carter 1, Carter 2 era. So
Carter 2 is more.
I'm just saying, I'm fascinated
So like
by
Carter
the politicking. And to me, bro, I said shit was going to get spicy, and I'm saying this now because now Young Thug wants to get involved.
Young Thug
And
needs to
who-
sit the fuck down.
Right, but this is what I want Grizz to look up, because this was an issue that I had seen a while ago, but I didn't know the facts, so I wasn't going to speak on it.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke, rest in peace. Pop Smoke's posthumous album, executive produced by 50. Push had a verse on the record, and if I remember when the albums come out, the track list came out, we're seeing it, we're like, oh, this guy,
Good.
it was crazy. It was like Push, Gunna, and I think Thug was on the record with Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
Damn.
well, so first it was pushing gun.
Oh, it was pushing Gun first?
First.
Okay,
And
No.
then push as Thug. Hey,
jump on it.
jump on it. And then all that bullshit happened.
Okay, now that makes sense.
What was the BS that happened on it?
So
Okay.
listen. It's Push and Gun, you said?
Yeah,
Originally.
Push, yeah, pushing gun.
Push, Gun, and Pop Smoke.
Okay.
Pusha T asked Young Thug jump on it. So Thug jumps on it. Then all of a sudden, Push is gone from the record. We didn't know why. We're like, why is Push off the record? No one said anything. It's just all of a sudden Push's verse was off. The verse leaked on the internet, and everyone's saying it was a Drake diss. So we start thinking. This is before the Kendrick shit. This is what, 2 years ago? Maybe 3?
4 years ago.
Or,
No, this was 18, I think.
No.
so that's 6.
Y'all just talk about old shit
No.
now, bro. Yeah.
I think that's what I saw.
Why are you bringing up old shit, bro?
He's trying to.
7 years old, bro.
He's trying to tie it in.
I'm trying to tie it in because when did Pop Smoke's posthumous album, executive by 50 Cent, come out?
That was like 2019.
18.
July 3rd, 2020.
Okay,
this
I was close. That was during COVID.
Okay, so mind you, this is far removed from Drake and Push getting at each other. This is far removed. Push did his thing, said what he said. Drake said what he said on Scorpion. We good. I was 18. So we get our first instance of Drake intervening. He had to. Why would Drake not want Push on the record?
Because
To
Push
be petty?
bodies his ass. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about
Okay,
his
so now we
song.
have strike one against Lawbury. Okay?
That name
I'm
is
upset,
crazy.
so I'm gonna tell UMG, please stop this. So now we're playing politics. Instead of rapping,
please?
huh?
You think he said please? You weren't there.
Take this shit out.
Yeah, bro.
It's just suspect to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he
It's
did.
just a lot of sneaky shit.
It's sneaky shit going on.
It's
with
clearly
him.
not sneaky if you know about it in Albuquerque.
We know about it because
God damn, bro. Like, you know about it over here.
Albuquerque's
There ain't nothing
last year,
sneaky
man.
about
it's
it.
on the
Always
internet.
last year.
Right.
It came out 5 years
But
later.
what I'm saying
bitch.
is it's not sneaky. Everybody, if everybody knows that he's behind this, like everybody in this room is able to piece this together. It's still not. It's not proven,
No,
right?
no.
We're all
You're missing my
speculating
point,
here.
bro. You're missing my point.
I don't like
we
it.
didn't know that back then.
I don't like this.
Now
shit.
we know it because Push did an interview, and this is when Thug put out the little
Yeah.
on the Snapchat.
Yep.
He's like, you talking out? He said whatever he said, okay? And then
I was really looking forward to
he
that.
was like, bro, I wasn't gonna do a Young Thug impression.
I
But
was really looking forward to that.
he was
Young Thug
talking
said-
spicy, bro. And he was defending Drake. So I already knew if Thug was on the live talking about Lawbury, he's defending his friend. What do you do with your friends? You defend your friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no worries. But it paints the picture to me that instead of Drake taking the L lyrically from a hip hop, he's gonna go to every avenue. Lawbreed. I don't like Lawbreed. And to me, it's bullshit, dog.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I see what.
I don't like it, bro. Like, are we rapping or are we playing politicking, dog?
What's it to you, bro?
Stay woke.
Fuck does it matter? Stay in your lane, bro.
What's
Mind
it
your
to
own
me,
business.
bro? Let me tell you why. It's because I sit up here and we talk about hip hop on this podcast, right? And then then we get these people who want to paint these and do these smoke and mirror PR attempts to sway things their way. Drake's fine. He's got the #1 record in the fucking country, bro. What did Hov say on that? What he said on that record, like, I'm up in the clouds, me and my spouse, looking down on all you peasants. Like, that's what Drake is right now. What are you worried about?
But you don't think like Jay-Z ever did nothing like that? You don't think Diddy ever did nothing like that? You don't think anybody in a position, right? You don't think anybody in a
but that's
position
my
of power
point,
ever
is
used
they're-
their power to slight somebody they didn't fuck
all
with?
doing it, bro.
Yeah, they all
and they're
do.
doing
Everybody
it
does
at
it.
the detriment of the culture, my G.
How? This is not at the detriment. Nobody wants to hear Clipse anyway, bro. Fuck out of here.
Bro,
Yeah, get out
that's
of here.
underscore Grizzly. Get at this guy, bro. That's why.
Nah, bro.
So all I want to.
But my thing. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Well, all I was gonna say from like just the beginning of this.
We good, T-Rav? Okay, good. Go ahead.
This beginning of this discussion, I feel like Clipse is only for certain people. Just like
Yeah.
it's Drake, Kendrick's the same way too. It's either you
Right.
like him or you don't. And it just when you start hearing these type of stories and you start hearing all these type of things about what's going on, if you don't really fuck with the music like that, you're not really gonna give a shit. Period. But if you do, those things matter because that's just what you're into. Like that's what you like. That's what you love. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just for the love of hip hop. Like you want the facts. You don't want a lot of the bullshit.
All I want is that I would think hip hop. It just turned 50 a couple years ago. Like I would have thought we'd be behind this shit. Like, bro, I don't hear about the Rolling Stones politicking because the Rolling Stones want to go on tour and fucking Coldplay wants to run the same. Get out! Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Explain it to me, please. I would love to know.
You didn't hear about how there was that concert and the Rolling Stones was only supposed to be the ones to walk on the tongue, and fucking Queen went and walked on the tongue, and Rolling Stones threw a fit, fucking some crybabies and didn't want to do the show. It exists, bro. It happens. Okay.
I just feel at the end of the day, we need.
Yeah,
we
bro.
Need to,
that
we
was
need
like in the 60s or 70s, bro.
To me,
it happens.
That's crazy for real.
It happens, yes, bro. Yes, it was Queen went and did the show, and it was on a part of the stage that only the Rolling Stones were supposed to be on, and it was some issue. You could look it up, bro. It was a whole issue, but yes, it exists, and so I appreciate you referencing the Rolling Stones because yes,
Well, good.
that did happen.
What I'm saying right now for all these young artists and these people paying attention to the culture right now, do not let nobody knock you off your square. If you're gonna put out an album and you're gonna put out a project and there are people higher than you putting their thumb down on you, get out of these situations and work with people that could be an ally to you because there are fuck boys and fuck girls out here trying to stop your project. I dealt with it at a high level with Pap. We had so many people hating on us to put his album out. It was crazy. I'm talking about the highest people at the game at that time. They did not want to put anything out. It was like, put the thumb down, put the thumb down. That shit exists in the industry, but don't let that shit deter you. Because I guarantee when this Clipse album drops, it's obviously highly anticipated. People are very excited about it. It's gonna be a slammer, bro, and it's gonna be, in my opinion, Kendrick started this trend. Shout out to Kendrick. Kendrick started this trend of putting the circle back on what hip hop is supposed to be, at a high level on the mainstream level, and I think the Clipse are gonna follow it up as well. We need to reset this shit. All this pussy boy, fuck boy hurt shit. Like, stop, bro. You lost the battle. Stop playing politicking and get to rapping. If Drake's got a problem, pick up the mic, Lawbreed. Get your ghostwriters together. Let's make it happen, baby. You good at it? Let's go. Let's go round two, baby.
He did fight back, though, you know.
He did fight.
He
back.
did fight back.
That's true.
But that's the thing is that as much shit I talk about Drake in this situation, I give him a lot of props because he didn't have to dance with Kendrick, but he did. And he had a valiant fight. So we know you're capable of doing these things. Why are you
Very
not
valuable.
doing them? Why are you not doing them? What?
A minute of a round.
What?
Yeah.
Drake won. Drake won that shit, bro.
He didn't, bro.
Yeah, he won, bro. Drake won.
Push-ups, and I gave him push-ups.
Yo, push-ups was fire.
Family Matters too, bro.
Family Matters was
But
was fire
Family
too.
Matters was fire, but it was extinguished by everything that Kendrick did that day.
Kendrick was.
Yeah,
Kendrick,
because as soon as he put Family Matters out, what did Kendrick do?
Meet the Grams.
Just right after that.
Oh my
So
God.
what's one of the main things we diss Drake about all the time? You just said it, ghostwriters, right?
Right.
How is it that I think this gets thrown on the rug? Kendrick had all this all planned out, like he did. I don't know. A lot of people forget about that. He had each one of these songs pre-recorded and already pre-written down.
How you know that?
I was
We know
watching
he
a couple
didn't just
things,
put
man.
that out there like that.
You guys
The
obviously.
same way you know
It's
that
like,
Drake
how
put
is
the
it- how
fucking
was it
brakes
Drake
on
was
this
going
shit.
toe-to-toe?
The same way,
You
the
said
same
this
way,
one had
the same way you know all this bullshit is happening.
Push it.
How you gonna question?
Hold on, time out.
It's fine. It's
He's like, okay, if he makes this step, I already have this.
I had this
Yes,
one.
bro.
I had it. You already had
wild,
it.
dog.
Get me out.
You weren't going toe to toe.
Okay,
But
maybe.
how is your life
Maybe.
so played out like that? How can I write 5 tracks about you and I know what you're gonna do?
Exactly.
5 years in advance.
Because you already
Exactly.
thought about it. You already had time to think.
He said, I already thought it in my
Yeah.
head.
If
let me tell you something.
If you were really a battle rapper like we know M is,
Okay.
M doesn't
Say
need
that
time
shit.
to do it. No, I will go toe to toe with you.
Say that
off
shit.
the
That's
rip.
right.
That's fine.
Off the rip.
That's
If this
fine.
was the other way around, bro, if this was
Hey, no,
Drake that had written pre-recorded, you guys would be sitting here and be like,
Nah.
Drake ain't got nothing to do
I
with
don't
all
think
this
it
time to
was-
sit here and just dream about
Yes,
Kendrick.
you would.
Dream about Kendrick
Yes, you
Lamar.
would. Don't lie.
Kendrick's on Drake's mind all the time. This
Look,
kid
get out
does.
of the show.
Think
Get
about
out
him, bro.
of the
Look me in my,
Let's hear it.
look me in
Let's
my
hear it. Let's
motherfucking
hear it.
eyeballs,
Let's hear
bro.
it.
I don't give a fuck if Drake.
Clearly, look out.
Listen to me.
Listen,
Nah, because I'm gonna tell you something. Me personally, Vinny, Venom, the owner and CEO of the commission, I don't care if Kendrick wrote that shit 5 years ago. I don't care if Drake wrote that 5. It's irrelevant. The bars is what matters to me in that time frame. And let me tell you something. Aubrey decided to fight everyone else instead of
did.
Kendrick.
I don't think we should
He
be allowed to
stood
bring
up.
relatives to this
You
shit.
paid him his dues.
I don't think you should be allowed to have your relative here, man. We're gonna have to have somebody
not
else.
fair, man.
Yeah, this shit is
I'm just saying.
Everything
From-
you say, he's out here echoing
Nah,
and
nah,
shit
nah,
off,
nah.
off
Because-
camera, off mic. He's like, yep, that's that shit. Yep. Uh-huh.
He's all emphasizing.
Yeah. You know, turning up your mic, turning my shit
Listen,
down, bro.
I'm gonna tell you. I've said it on this podcast, and I'll say it. I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan, so I'm not over here cheerleading Kendrick.
I can't tell. Yeah, you're making it real hard to believe, dog. Yeah.
Because Kendrick,
Vinny's about the craft. Vinny is
Thank
always
you,
been
Keith.
about the craft and about the bars. And I
Always.
understand that, but
always.
if
That's
for
all
you-
that matters, bro.
This fool has hated on Drake for years.
You gotta be able to go toe to toe with me and not just come and pre.
Did Drake go toe to toe with Kendrick?
He did.
Okay.
He tried.
Did
Sure
Drake
did.
go?
And he took his
Okay.
L.
Hey, if he had
Obviously,
all
he's
that
being a little
stuff ready to
crybaby.
go,
I'll give you that.
if he had all that stuff ready to go, he'd probably kill him. He'd probably kill Kendrick, bro.
I think if you give
Now
him
we
the same
talking that
amount of-
sports shit. If my guy would have caught the football, we would have scored the touchdown. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Kendrick already
Yeah,
had
fucking years, and then I release a track calling you a bitch 5 years fucking later,
Nah.
and you still a bitch. It's relevant.
True.
Yeah.
Now listen,
Give a
before
fuck,
relevant.
before
But
we move on,
information
here's
he
my
already
thing.
had,
Right, but here's my point. At the end of the day,
I mean, that one.
I've said it on this podcast multiple times. I give Drake his flowers for what he does in his culture. Drake is a monument in our culture that no one could ever take away what he does. His pen game is very strong. He's great at what he does. But I think what Drake tries to do sometimes is he's like a conqueror. You know when Kendrick said, "No, you're not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer"? It hit me. It hit me very deep because that's exactly what Drake does. Instead of him sticking to his lane, he want to go to, he does the Mexican records, like the reggaeton records, and then he'll go out and do some shit with the UK rappers, and he'll do that UK twang. And he'll start taking from these different places and incorporating his own. And to me, that's the issue I have long term with Drake, is that I feel that when you want to step into that MC lane of picking up your mic and rhyming, you're already outside your league. You couldn't You couldn't go toe to toe with Common. You tried over a girl. okay, over Serena. You try to go toe-to-toe with Meek. You got Meek. But to be fair, Drake knew what he was doing at that time. Drake knew exactly what he was doing, and he took advantage of Meek's weakness. He couldn't stand Pusha T. He got mollywopped by Pusha T.
Yep.
So think about it. What do these guys all have in common? Common's a lyricist, an MC. Pusha T's an MC, a lyricist, right? Kendrick is an MC and a lyricist. Just stay in your lane, man.
You don't think Meek is?
Wait.
I think Meek is
So
to
he's
a
a
point,
colonizer because he's trying new shit? Is that what you're saying? You
wait,
hold up, wait
time
up.
out, time
You
out,
got a
time out,
Yankees
time out.
hat on. You don't play no fucking baseball.
Right.
You ain't no motherfucking mob boss, soprano shirt wearing ass motherfucker. You're a colonizer.
So what?
Yeah, you are, bro. Cut it out.
No.
I don't buy that shit, bro. You could try new shit. You could try out new things. If
course you
it's
can.
if it's paper over here, I'm gonna go get it, bro.
it's a
Why would I?
money move.
Why? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you make a
If it's
money
paper
move?
over here, why would I not go get it, bro?
No,
That's crazy.
No, what I'm saying
Colonizing my
is-
ass. He's put a lot of people on. You're tripping, bro.
He did. But what I'm saying is that where was
Drake already got the money. It's not even
that's
about
what I'm
the
saying.
He's getting more money. He's getting his name out
Yes,
there. Now
absolutely.
everybody
I
knows
agree,
him.
bro.
Before
You're
this,
tripping.
before
That's not
Kendrick,
I don't feel like Drake ain't
That is a
colonizing
whole- that is
Spanish
a whole-
music.
that is
I
a
mean,
whole-
people,
Drake already,
people
right?
knew him, but I think
Not
Kendrick
everybody-
used Drake's popularity to go at him and get himself up to that level.
Exactly.
And that's cool. I mean, that's what hip hop's about. There's nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with it.
What I'm trying to convey though is when I say colonizer, okay, what I'm saying is that you're taking and you're not reciprocating.
Yes.
You think that, oh, he put people on. What's up with that publishing? Remember when Kendrick said on Euphoria? He said,
What are you all mad
what'd he
about,
say?
man?
What'd he say? I'm trying to think. He said,
He said, look at the bad.
he said, show me your splits. I'll make sure I double back with you. You were signed to a dude that was signed to a dude that was said it was signed to that dude. Drake's splits ain't hitting. I want to see Drake's publishing to see if he really gave back to artists. But that's a different story for a different day. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
What I'm conveying here is that I hope the Clipse come out, and I hope all the people who support the Clipse and been waiting for this album, they come out, they go support, they buy the merch. We need to give the power back to the fans to be able to support their artists directly. None of this streaming bullshit where people ain't getting paid out. No colonizing.
I agree.
Okay? And I hope that Drake this time goes away for a little while. Just go away, dog. Go away.
Yeah.
I heard Drake's putting out a new EP, right? Is that what it's called? Iceman?
Yeah. Supposedly.
I just feel at the end of the day, it's coward shit. Because we're all here to make money, right? There's enough money for everybody to eat.
There really is. Yes.
Okay? There really
I
is.
I respect that.
And why, like, UMG is making money hand over fist right now because of Drake and Kendrick are both signed to the label. Kendrick's on tour, killing it. We already know what Drake and Party are going to do on tour. We know they're going to go out on tour this Nokia record.
Yeah.
Everyone's making money. Why are you caring about
It's not even about
somebody
the money.
less than you, bro? It's just,
Like you said,
it's
if you can do
counterintuitive,
it,
dog.
you can. Why not?
All right, so we talked about the
They
Pop
don't
Smoke
like
thing.
each other no more. Like, that's literally what it's coming down to.
I just wish it would have.
Like, I don't like you, fuck you.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's a personal thing.
But just
it's
keep
a personal
it.
thing.
My
now.
thing is, bro, keep it
It's
on
banned.
wax, bro. Just
Yeah,
keep
it's
it on
banned.
wax,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, it's
Because
been
hey, what
years.
comes from war? What comes from war? What are the two outcomes of war that could happen? Peace or what?
Peace or
Or
war.
death.
Yeah.
Peace or death.
I'm hoping 10 years from now we get an I declare war situation where, you know, Drake and Kendrick come together and, you know, they
I don't think
they
they
get on
will.
stage together.
I don't
You
think-
never know, bro. You never know. All I'm saying.
I'm still waiting
I mean,
for
if
50
Easy-
in the game to come back, bro.
Nah,
That's
if
never
if
gonna
Easy and fucking